What's going on, bottom line viewers? It's Mitch here to break down AJ Bouye being traded from the Jacksonville Jaguars to the Denver Broncos for a 2020 fourth round selection. So the Denver Broncos get their guy. They get a corner. They're in need of a corner because Chris Harris is going to be gone in free agency. The Jags get another draft pick. They're now loaded with draft picks going into this year's draft. Both teams are heading in different directions. I'm going to break it down for you, why it's a fit in Denver, why it's not a bad trade for Jacksonville, all that and more. Before I do, make sure you do Gronk Spike the like button. And if you haven't already, guys, subscribe to the Bottom Line View for more NFL free agency and off-season breakdowns just like this. Also, comment your opinion on the trade. Do you love it for Jacksonville? Do you love it for Denver? Do you hate it for either team? Let me know in the comment section below. AJ Bouye is in Denver. He's a part of Vic Fangio's defense now, and it's going to be exciting. AJ Bouye, he's going on his 29 years old, 29, and basically, he's been an elite corner for the past couple of seasons. Now, 2019, he was not elite. PFF ranked him as the 75th best corner in football last year. He did not have a very good year in 2019. I would say he is somebody that I could see bouncing back big time. He's a player that I don't think has fallen off yet. I just think there was a lot of things that were happening in Jacksonville. One, they were a bad team. 2, Jalen Ramsey was traded. 3, they've been trying to change the way their defense plays. And Bouye, before that, 3 years before that, in 2016 with Houston, he was elite. He was one of the best corners in the game. The reason Jacksonville went out and signed him to team up with Jalen Ramsey. Then in 2017, a part of that awesome Jacksonville defense, he was elite again as the number 2 corner, probably the best number 2 in the league. I remember people saying, including myself, this guy might be a top 5 corner and he's not even the best corner on his team. At times he was, and at times he would take the number 1 guy. In Houston, he only took the number 1 guy. In Jacksonville, occasionally, because they played the Seattle scheme defense, sometimes he'd see the number 1, sometimes he wouldn't. Ramsey would sometimes match up with the number 1, but it wasn't really so much a match defense. They more played their sides of the field more than anything else. In Denver, Bouye is going to be asked to do different things. I think he's going to be asked to play more man-to-man, which he played more in Houston, I would say, than in Jacksonville. And I do think, actually, that type of defense suits him better than anywhere else. I do believe that he'll fit in the man-to-man quarters defense of Vic Fangio that they love to run there in Denver. And I do believe he is the type of outside corner that really Denver missed last year because they were forced to put Chris Harris on the outside. It wasn't really optimal for their defense. Bouye, he doesn't have the best ball skills in the world, so he's not a guy that's going to have a lot of interceptions, a lot of tips, but he's just a really, really good man corner, zone corner. He can play both, and he's got good awareness. He's physical, definitely physical. He's a good tackler. He's good in the run game. He doesn't have many weaknesses. Now, one of the big things here for both teams is that he's going to cost, supposedly going into next year. Now, it depends really what the Broncos want to do, if they want to extend him, if they don't want to extend him, if they want to try and lessen the cap number for this year, or if Bouye is just going to play under the $13.4 million cap hit, because that's a pretty big cap hit in my opinion for a guy that's coming off not a very good season. Again, PFF ranked him 75th. I don't think he was the 75th worst corner in my opinion, but he definitely wasn't at the level that he was years previous. So I kind of feel like this is a make or break year for AJ Bouye in a new defense, and I do think he'll make more than he'll break in Denver because that's a great coach in Vic Fangio. He's going to know how to utilize this guy. He's going to know how to put him in the right positions. And we've seen in years past, Fangio will take some corners that aren't even nearly as talented as AJ Bouye and make them successful. For example, like Prince Amukamara in Chicago. Guys like that who maybe have some skills, but are not nearly the same corner as an elite guy like Bouye. So I really like this trade for Denver, but I also like the trade for Jacksonville because Jacksonville is getting rid of $13 million on their cap. They're already tight as it is in cap space, and they're getting rid of a player that's entering his 30s soon. Next year, he'll enter his 30s. And Bouye was really there to maximize the window that they had in 2017, and I would say in 2018, but they basically cost it themselves. By holding on to Blake Bortles that long, they basically cost themselves a Super Bowl, in my opinion, in Jacksonville. So letting go of AJ Bouye, it's basically time for a rebuild. They're not re-signing Yannick Ngakoue. They're going to be forced to trade him. So there's a lot happening in Jacksonville right now. I think it is the right move to let go of a guy that's going to be 30 in a season. Not this season, but next season. And he cost this much money when he didn't perform to the money. He didn't perform to $13 million. He clearly wasn't the number one in Jacksonville's defense. And I like the move for Jacksonville, getting at least a pick back for him. Maybe you could have got better, a third-round pick. But considering his play last year, considering his age, considering he's a corner who tend to drop off drastically at random moments in their career, and considering that Jacksonville is kind of in a tough spot where they were going to have to trade him or try and trade somebody because they're so tight against the cap, it makes sense. So I like the trade. He's going to be probably the number one corner in Denver next year. I still think they could bring in, whether that's through the draft or through free agency, another corner or two. Probably not of the level of Bouye, probably not of the prestige of Bouye, but they probably need to look at the slot corner position. They need to fill out that depth chart. And I think the Broncos are a team that a lot of people should not sleep on going into next year because I think they have a lot of promise. And we'll see how they fill out the rest of their roster. But I think Fangio finally has that outside corner he's been searching for in AJ Bouye. Let me know, guys, in the comment section what you thought of this move. Did you love it? Did you hate it? It's been Mitch of The Bottom Line View. If you haven't already, subscribe to The Bottom Line View for more NFL, free agency, and offseason breakdowns and reactions just like this. And don't forget to Gronk spike the like button. Peace out, guys. Thanks for watching.